I found the job on a local community forum late on a Thursday night. It was a simple post, no picture, no profile, just text. Babysitter needed. One night only, Friday, $200 cash. Quiet child. Must stay overnight. Address provided upon acceptance. $200 for one night was insane money for someone like me. I was 17, saving for a car, and my usual babysitting gigs paid maybe $30. I messaged the account. They replied almost instantly. No greeting, no questions about experience, just an address on the far edge of town and a time. 8 p.m. sharp. The house was bigger than I expected. Not mansion level, but definitely nicer than anything in my neighborhood. 2 stories, dark windows, no lights on except a faint glow in the kitchen. I rang the bell. No answer. I knocked. After a full minute, the door slowly opened inward. By itself. I assumed someone had unlocked it remotely or something. Rich people tech. Hello, I called. No response. The air inside smelled faintly like cleaning products. And something else I couldn't place. Not rotten, just stale. On a small table by the door was a plain white envelope with my name written on it. Inside was cash, 2 crisp $100 bills, and a note. Please begin immediately. Everything you need is on the refrigerator. No signature, no mention of a child. The kitchen lights were already on. Stainless steel appliances, spotless counters, nothing out of place, except for a single sheet of paper taped to the fridge. Rules, not instructions, not a schedule. Rules. I remember laughing a little. Rich parents could be weird. Then I started reading. 1. Do not go upstairs under any circumstances. 2. Do not open the basement door. 3. If you hear a baby crying, ignore it. 4. Keep all lights on in the kitchen and living room after 10:30 p.m. 5. If a knock comes from inside the walls, leave the house immediately and sit in your car for 10 minutes before returning. 6. At midnight, lock all doors. Do not open them for anyone. 7. If something asks to be let in, do not respond. 8. If the television turns on by itself, do not look at it. Turn it off and leave the room for 5 minutes. 9. If you see a child, do not interact. There is no child in this house. 10. Leave at 6 a.m. Do not stay later. My first thought was that it was a prank. My second thought was that rich people had a twisted sense of humor. I checked the time. 8:12 p.m. Still no sign of parents. No text, no phone call. I walked around the first floor. Living room, dining room, bathroom, kitchen, empty, too empty. No toys, no photos, no clutter. Nothing that suggested a child lived there. The only closed doors were one at the end of the hallway basement, I assumed, and the front door behind me. I told myself they probably had cameras and were testing if I'd follow instructions. So I stayed. Around 9:30 p.m., I started to relax. I scrolled on my phone, ate some snacks I found in the pantry. Nothing weird happened. At exactly 10:30 p.m., I remembered Rule 4 and switched on every light in the kitchen and living room. The house suddenly felt less like a home and more like a stage set, too bright, too quiet. At 11:17 p.m., I heard the first sound, a faint thump from somewhere above me. I froze. Rule 1 echoed in my head. Do not go upstairs under any circumstances. I told myself it was pipes. Old houses make noises. Then came a dragging sound, slow, heavy, like furniture being moved, or something being pulled across the floor. I turned the TV on for background noise. Big mistake. The screen flickered, then cut to black. Not off, just black. And for a split second, I thought I saw movement in the reflection behind me. I shut it off immediately and left the room, remembering Rule 8. I stood in the kitchen doorway, heart pounding, counting in my head. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3, halfway to 5 minutes. A baby started crying. It wasn't faint, it wasn't distant. It sounded like it was right behind the basement door. High-pitched, panicked, desperate. My entire body went cold. Rule 3. If you hear a baby crying, ignore it. I covered my ears. It got louder. It sounded like the baby was choking between sobs, gasping, scratching at something. Then the crying abruptly stopped. Total silence, followed by a soft, slow tapping on the basement door. Tap, tap, tap. At exactly midnight, every light flickered. Once, twice, then stabilized. I rushed around locking every door like Rule 6 said, hands shaking so badly I could barely turn the deadbolts. When I reached the front door, I hesitated. Outside was pitch black. No streetlights, no cars, nothing. Just my reflection. No cars, nothing. Just my reflection in the glass. I locked it. The second the bolt clicked, someone knocked. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. Not loud, not urgent, just patient. I stopped breathing. Then a voice came through the door. Soft, childlike. Please, let me in. Tears instantly filled my eyes. It sounded exactly like a little kid trying not to cry. I'm cold. I backed away slowly, covering my mouth so I wouldn't make a sound. The handle began to turn, rattling, not violently, gently, like whoever was outside expected it to open. Why won't you help me? The voice whispered. Then the knocking started again. From behind me, I turned. The basement door was vibrating. Something on the other side was knocking from inside the house now. Harder, faster. Then the crying started again. Right against the door. I ran to the kitchen, pressing myself against the counter, trying not to scream. The crying stopped. Footsteps moved across the basement ceiling above me inside. Ceiling above me, inside the floor. Slow, uneven steps traveling through the walls toward the stairs, toward the first floor, toward me. Then I remembered Rule 5. If a knock comes from inside the walls, leave the house immediately. I didn't even grab my bag. I unlocked the front door and sprinted to my car. Behind me, something slammed into the door from the inside, so hard the frame shook. I drove to the end of the driveway and sat there shaking, watching the house. Every light inside went out at once. The entire place went completely black. I waited 10 minutes. 9 minutes in, a light flicked on upstairs. A silhouette passed the window. Too tall, too thin, moving in jerky, unnatural motions. I didn't go back. I drove home. The next morning, I checked the forum to report the account. The post was gone. The user didn't exist. I even drove back with my older brother later that afternoon. The address led to an empty lot. No house, no driveway, nothing. Just overgrown grass and a rusted mailbox with no name on it. I still have the money. I never spent it because sometimes, late at night, I hear knocking, not on my door, from inside the walls. Slow, patient, waiting.